Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape Bangalore, and in this episode we will be talking about everyone's favorite summer flowering plant, the adenium. Today we will be learning about its care, and I will also give you some tips on getting more blooms in your adeniums. This is a native of the African peninsula and some parts of Arabia as well. This is widely called the desert rose because of the place from which it belongs to. These are unique plants that are found in some of the most hottest regions of the world where the sun is unsparing and water very scarce. This is the reason why these stems have modified themselves to swell up, thereby storing a lot of water to help the plant with long periods of dry spell. This region is called the caudex, and this bulbous shape makes this plant an excellent candidate for bonsais. This belongs to the Plumeria family. However, the plant contains a sap that is very toxic, so please do not ingest any part of this plant or let the sap fall into your eyes. But it also has medicinal properties. It has some substance in it that can treat congestive heart failures. But in high doses, it could cause death, so please do not play a guinea pig while dealing with this plant. Caution is always advisable. And people generally have a misconception: just because we say some plant has toxic sap does not mean that you can't touch the plant. You can, just that if the sap falls on your finger, wash it off before you could reach for your eyes, mouth, etc. This is a summer blooming plant and the flowers come in different hues of red, pink, yellow, white, etc. There are multicolored adeniums as well. So now let us look at the basic care conditions that this plant likes. Sunlight. It loves full hot sun, so any amount of shade will only make this plant look leggy and there would not be many flowers on it. Water. Though this is a very drought tolerant plant, you can water this consistently provided the soil is well draining. So water this every day. However, if you are growing this indoors, then water only when the soil dries completely. It can survive no watering only for a few days when in a container. So do not overestimate this plant and stop watering it. So the potting mix that I would prefer using is 40% compost, 30% sand and 30% garden soil or coco peat. A good potting mix must have more organic matter in it. Any well-draining potting mix is good. Since this is a succulent, it does not like very clay-rich soil that can end up holding a lot of water. Now let us see how to increase its blooms. I fertilize my plant once every month during summer months with compost like this. I just apply compost on the top layer of the soil and then dig it in with a sharp garden tool like this with the top soil and then water the plant. While using any fertilizer, especially chemical fertilizers, make sure you add water immediately after you apply it on the soil. Additionally, I also add a lot of banana peels to encourage blooming. The banana is rich in potassium and phosphorus. It has 42% potassium and 3.25% phosphorus, which are essential nutrients for inducing flowering. While using bananas as fertilizer, avoid using the fruit because it might attract rodents or pests. You do not have to dry the bananas and then powder them in a grinder. You can just add the banana peel directly onto the soil. During winters, this plant goes dormant and it also sheds its leaves and produces large seed pods. Remove the seed pods by late January to induce more blooming in the spring to summer months. This can flower even throughout the rainy season till the onset of winter. Propagation is either with the help of seeds or with the help of cuttings. So this is a plant that has been grown from cuttings and the video can be found above, and look how it has produced flowers even when it is just 1 or 2 inches tall. Seed propagation is not always successful due to lack of viable seeds, so I would advise you to take stem cuttings instead. Seed propagation might not result in the same flower color sometimes, so a stem cutting propagation can lead to the same flower characteristics. So now let us talk about the pests and diseases that affect this plant. I have not seen any pests on my plant, but if grown indoors, it could become vulnerable to mealybugs, etc. A lot of people actually ask me on whether you can grow this plant indoors. The answer is yes, provided it is facing the most brightest location possible, preferably a southwest location, but do not expect very good blooming and the plant stems could become leggy if grown indoors. So a preferred position or location to grow your plant is the outdoors on your terrace. Pruning this plant could definitely help it branch out a little more better, and it could give a more tree-like appearance to the entire plant. But avoid over pruning this plant because it can cause a lot of undue stress. So I had covered an episode on propagating this plant from stems as well as seeds, but I'm not very proud of those videos, so I will be covering those topics yet again for the benefit of my viewers. Pruning will also be covered very soon. So bring home this beautiful plant that is indeed the queen of the desert. So with this, we have come to the end of yet another episode of Urbanscape Bangalore, and if you have liked watching this program, then please like, share and subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are given below. Thank you for watching and a very warm goodbye.